first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler. I'm live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We appreciate all of you who are a part of this show. We are live streaming here throughout the afternoon. And during this show, we get to have some longer form segments, whether that's breaking news, having reporters in, or sometimes conversations with people like Bruce Campbell. So Bruce Campbell, you may recognize him from a number of different things. Of course, famous for Evil Dead and that entire franchise, but also in a lot of other things. And on top of that, he has been a resident of Oregon for about 30-some years, 30-plus years, particularly there in Southern Oregon in the Rogue Valley. And he recently filmed a movie, wrote it, directed it, starred in it, and it is called Ernie and Emma. And we got a chance to talk to him for a while about that, about the state of Oregon, about his career. And so here to round out the day before our 4 o'clock news, if you're watching live on the Fox 12 Oregon apps, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to jump right into it. Here is Bruce Campbell.
Good, man. Do it.
All right, let's go for it. Well, Bruce Campbell, it's great to have you here. We actually talked, well, it was probably like a year ago now, about Hysteria was the last time you were on here.
Right, that's right. The slightly ill-fated Hysteria.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was interesting, but it wound up being, one and done.
Man, what do you get? I mean, that's kind of the life, though, right? I mean, you don't know what
to make Ernie and Emma my new movie. If otherwise, I'd be slaving in Georgia right now. I wouldn't even been able to talk to you.
There we go. So it all, yeah. So then it definitely worked out. So tell us about this. This new movie. I mean, because from what I was reading about it, going back to doing this independent film, doing it all yourself. What is it that let's hear some origin story maybe about how all this came about.
My wife, for years I would go, one day we're going to work outside the studio system. We're going to show those guys. And I'd, not long ago, when would that be, Bruce? You're not getting any younger. So I was like, okay, let's do it. She agreed that we would partner up and make this movie ourselves. So much to her credit, my wife is she's the boss of this movie. So we agreed to just see what would it be like to make a movie exactly where it should be shot, exactly when the time it should be shot, with only the people that you want, that's going to be good for the movie, not good for a video box or good for foreign sales or good for anything else. We picked, what's awesome, if you make your own movie, we shot in June, this movie. And anybody who lives in the Rogue Valley knows that it's before the wildfire smoke. And in May, things are still blooming, but in June, everything's up. The hills are green. Life is good. We caught the Applegate Reservoir at like 95% capacity. It was just, so state of Oregon owes me money.
Seriously. I mean, that is the sweet spot.
We're going to go, that's what the state looks like. So anyway, it's fun to be able to plan your own destiny and also to sleep in my own bed. I never do that when I make a movie or something. It's always in some strange location. Now I can be in my own strange location.
Yeah, you actually drove home at the end of each day.
I'm telling every day. I ate lunch at my house every day. I went, wait a second. Is it really? Can it really work this way? I thought I was in a fever dream that you're never really allowed to do that. You just talk about it. But it's been fun just to put it into action. And so we're going to premiere it at the Holly Theater on basically Valentine's Day on the 14th of February, the great revamped Holly Theater. They've got it all gussied up now, and we're going to be one of the few movies in decades to show there, because they're not really set up for movies. They're set up for live entertainment, but they used to be a movie house, and we're going to torture them enough that we're going to get them to put a permanent screen there, because look at what you could use that theater for when you're not doing live performances.
Oh, yeah. And those are the kinds of places, that it just adds that special whatever, ambiance, whatever we want to call it.
Does,
something unique.
Also, look, you get tickets. You get a seat. You don't have to run in and throw your seat over a couple of chairs to protect it. You got a seat that you got an usher takes you to your seat. It's really classy.
I mean, this is a traditional movie experience. I mean, independent film, filmed there, where you wanted it, how you wanted it in Oregon, showing at a local theater.
I call it crawling back into the womb. I back in the old days, me and Sam Raimi and a couple other guys in Michigan, we used to just make these little teeny movies and take them around ourselves. And it's just getting back to that, because those were the fun days. They were unrestricted. Nobody read my screenplay. Nobody gave me notes. Nobody looked at my budget. Nobody saw the edit of the movie and gave me notes. You got to get rid of this. You got to get rid of that. Or you have to add this, or you have to add that. We didn't have to do anything. And so if the movie stinks, it's on me. I can't blame anybody.
Fair enough. And this was all with people from the state or the region, right? Everybody involved?
Yes, this was 100% shot basically in the Rogue Valley. The casting was out of Portland, so they're actors from all over. I think I brought in like 10% of the actors, just a couple of old cronies of mine that I had to have in the movie. But other than that, it's a whole batch of fresh faces that I never met any of these people before. And it's great to have them come in and you try and get them up to speed with what you're trying to do. They were all game. None of these actors were stiffs. You know, they were like, wait, what? You want to come down to Oregon, bring me down to make a movie just for one day? Oh, great. Let's do it. So I met a lot of really cool people. And for the next movie, you know, I'll use some of those people again.
Yeah, now they're in. Now they're a part of it.
Yeah.
So can we give everybody what the premise of the movie is?
Yes. Essentially, I play Ernie Tyler. Ernie Tyler is known locally as the pear guy in Pear Valley, Oregon. He's the regional sales manager for Laurel and Davies pears. You know, it's the kinship of, you know, it's the wink wink to Harry and David. And he's a guy who's used to have it 20 years ago. You know, he was the guy, and now he does all the local lousy ads for One-Way Motors and the Country Club and things like that. And that was his shtick, and his wife does. And he's the least prepared man for his wife to die. This guy was fully prepared to go first. He was the 3 martini lunches, the high sedentary job, he was a stroke waiting to happen, and she goes first. So he can't deal with it, and she knows it. Even before she died, she plans this all out of when she goes, she's going to have him do some stuff with her ashes, very specific stuff. She was an executive secretary at a sawmill for 25 years. She doesn't fool around. So he finally opens the letters from all the condolences months later. And the last thing he opens, it's from her. He's like, that's a little weird. And it's a safe deposit key. He's like, oh man, if that's from my wife, it's either really good or really bad. You know,
right.
You don't put a normal thing in a safe deposit box. Anyway, it's all the instructions of what to do with her ashes. And she takes him on a very specific journey through their life together. Some of it good, some of it not so good. You know, long marriage, you're going to have way ups and way downs. So I've been married for 30 years. And, you know, my wife and I have been through quite a bit. And it's nice you get to be an older actor. You start to care about other stuff. I don't swing chainsaws around anymore. I don't have boomsticks anymore. You know, I made Hallmark movies now. That's what I do now. And so this story appealed to me because I'm going to do this at the Q&As for screenings. I'm going to go, raise your hand if you've lost a loved one. I mean, we've all lost somebody, from our dog, Little Barfy, to dear old dad. You know, we've all lost somebody, and how do you deal with it? And so the answer with this guy is he didn't deal with it well, but his wife's going to help him. So she carries him. I call it a sunrise story. It's about death, but it's also about this guy getting his life back.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. Clearly not this exact thing, but are there certain aspects of your life that you brought through into this?
My dad was a broken down ad guy in Detroit, you know, who had his heyday, and then he got mustered out. He lost an account and got fired, so he's the fired ad guy. I'm the Evil Dead guy, so I know what it's like to be a guy. So he's the pear guy wherever you go. His license says pear guy. You know, so yes, totally, lots of parallels. My career is like a B movie actor. And I'm like an older B movie actor. What do you do with those guys? You put them in museums now. And so I thought, look, I've written before. I've written a bunch of books, and I'm going to write myself a big fat part because no one's writing for this guy. You know what I mean? And not
Right.
how I would write for me. And I'm like, heck with you, man. I'm giving myself speeches. I'll show you, I'll
Yeah.
give you, I'll give you a part. And so it was fun to write myself a big fat part that I don't think any of my friends would ever write for me, because they go, no, he's that Evil Dead guy. He does those crazy things. So it's fun to do, and it's an adult movie. It's actually even our.
How does that feel? Going from that, talking about the Evil Dead days, you and Sam Raimi, and creating all those movies of your own and not having any notes from anybody, and then now getting to do this as the guy who is, putting on the movie, but also it seems like a lot of that spirit still transferring through, through this huge career that you've had.
This is the fun part about movies. Was kind of before. There's a bunch of systems I'm going to try and avoid in my adulthood. The legal system, it's a good one to avoid for all of us. Advice for all of us. The medical system, try and stay out of that. Try and stay out of that system. And in my case, the studio system. Because it's the old joke. The guy with the gold makes the rules, the golden rule,
Yeah.
And so if you get money from a studio, they ask all kinds of questions, rightfully so. It's their money. And so you have to answer to a lot of people, and they have people who stand on your set and do this, and there are people who look at the receipts that come in and they do this, and and so I get tired of that as an adult, as a professional. Hey, I got this, I'm good.
Right.
And so I did some snotty things in this movie that no one would have allowed me to do, just because they're just private little things that I did for myself as a filmmaker that go slightly against the norm, and I did it totally on purpose because I'm just a little snotty guy sometimes.
Well, you still have the same spirit that you did from back then.
Yeah. As a filmmaking thing, this is the dumbest thing in the world. But normally in a movie, a prop guy will come up and say, "You're shooting scene 32. It should be 10:14 a.m." Right? Okay, fine. So the watch is on and off every scene. 10:14, 10:18, 10:58. I said to myself, do we care about that time on my watch? So what's fun is if you watch the movie, whatever time is on my watch is the exact time we shot that shot. It's a real continuous time, the entire movie. And I just want to see if anybody even notices what time it is the whole time, because they obsess about it when you make a movie.
Oh, I bet, yeah. There's people that want everything to be consistent. Everything's got to be exactly the same for each
Matching
scene.
the continuity.
Somebody out there is going to watch this movie and create like some website of it, all the times trying to guess.
Is it? Yeah. When did Bruce Campbell shoot what? I love it. I would appreciate it. That should be AI should do that job, though.
That's true. Somebody will put that through. Well, so this movie, as you mentioned, you're going to be premiering it or showing it way down there in Medford, right in Medford, at the Holly.
Yeah, it's going to be in Medford at the Holly Theater, beautiful Holly Theater right down there. Few tickets left. They're flying off the shelves. But it's a
Be
beautiful
that person to get the two.
1,000 seats. And then in the fall, I'm going to take the movie and go to Alamo Draft House. It's a lovely chain of theaters. They've agreed to show it. I'm going to tour September, October, into November at 20 of their venues.
Oh, that's great. And so you get to go out there and, interact with the crowd too, because I know that's that's a big part.
Yeah, I made him a deal. I said, if you book the movie, I'll come to your theater and we'll have some fun. So I'm going to do an appearance at each of these 20 theaters.
For a lot of, creators, actors, stars, whatever, it seems like a lot of people want that barrier in between that, but you're actually going right into it and interacting with everybody. What is it about that you like?
Being in the lion's den is the only place to be, but being with the savages, it's the place because I still go to these conventions. I shake 1,000 hands a day. I mean, I got a guy he's pumping me with the spray. I'm like, no, I want to build up my immunity. I actually meet the people who buy your stuff. It's not. My dad was an old ad guy. He'd meet your clients. Who are these? Are they old? Are they young?
Yeah.
Are they families? Are they freaks? Are they weirdos? Who's buying this stuff? And what are they buying? Is it only Evil Dead? Is there Bubba Hotep? Is there Briscoe? Is there McHale's Navy? Is there Hercules and Xena? What are they buying? So I love it. And plus, because we get so cocoon-like with COVID and all that, conventions are back. And I'm so delighted because they're a blast. You can either, as an actor, you can get completely creeped out or you can have fun. And I wear the dumbest Lawrence Welk outfits I can find. I kiss hands and shake babies. That's what I do. So no, I don't mind touring. It's actually a very natural thing, and signing autographs and all that stuff. It's what I do. Actors are weird that don't interact, and a lot of this big group of Hollywood actors, they wouldn't know. Like when they go to Comic-Con, they do this. They got out of limos and they go like this, and flash, and then they are hustled into the big arena to do their panel. And then they go home. You're not glad handed with anybody. You're actually not meeting a single fan at those big ones. So, man, I'll take a secondary convention any day. You meet people, you get their crazy stories. It's worth it.
I can only imagine some of the stories you've heard. I do have this question I want to ask just about that. What is the weirdest or oddest gift that anyone has ever given you at one of these conventions?
Well, a very goth woman, very tattooed, very pierced woman came up and she said, you're the Evil Dead guy, so I have some poetry that you'll really like. And so she gives me this book of poetry, and it's just the most offensive stuff I've ever read in my entire life. I read a few sentences and I had to quickly get it away from my body. It was so disturbing, but she thought, I'm a horror guy. You like horror, I'll give you. She was really giving me some horror. It was like this special treat because she knew I would love it. So there is that line that people sometimes don't understand, that I'm just a regular schmo from Michigan. I like the Three Stooges as much as I like horror. But if that's what you're in, that's who you are. And fans watch what they want. I've done Westerns and comedies and sci-fi and all that, but if you're a horror fan, you don't even watch my other stuff.
Yeah. They don't care. You're Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead guy.
Yeah, Evil Dead guy. And so that's okay. That's, God love him. Put my kids through college.
Yeah, amazing. And now you get to do this film the way you want it, partially because of all that too.
It's all directly related to that. The Evil Dead ruined it for all of us because that first experience was a really good one. We made it ourselves, got private investors from Michigan. There was really no studio by the time we sold it. So the first Evil Dead was one of the few unedited movies that we did. Later, when we got finance from studios, they love re-editing your movie. So, and it's just nice to get back to that because filmmaking should have a singular vision. The arts should be led by a singular thing. Movies are not meant to really be group dynamics. You need a bossy person to run the show, and that should be the creative person.
And you get to be the bossy person for this.
I do. And look, if I fail, my wife will yell at me. That's as bad as it's going to get.
But at least you'll be home in your own bed. So, you'll have that from filming this.
It's so true.
Bruce, and I understand that this may be coming up to Portland too at some point.
I'm doing some sneakity sneaks.
Okay. I didn't know if I could say anything or not.
You can. So we're gonna talk about it because I thought to myself, okay, this fall tour. So I can't really say we're releasing it, but sneak previews I can do. So I love the Old Hollywood Theater in Portland. That I believe is April. And then I'm going to go to the cool Egyptian Theater in May in Boise. Great old theater. I love old theaters. They're my favorite. They make me so happy, these crumbling theaters.
Yeah.
They smell and their floors are sticky, but man, they're the best. And then going back to my boyhood theater where we premiered the first Evil Dead at the Redford Theater in Detroit in June. We're going to do a sneak preview there too. So we're doing 3 very clever little sneak previews because I just want to see what people think. And then we do the tour in the fall. And then what I'm hoping after the holidays, we just keep touring with it. Because I want to see as far as I can get in theaters with this movie before it fizzles out. And then you go to Netflix and beg, them to take your movie.
Yeah, but instead get that experience, tour around, talk to the people. Bruce, it's awesome talking to you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. Thank you. And it's fun to. The movies are rated, by the way, for language boo-boo words, and some drug use. He smokes a doobie in the movie, but other than that, it's like this movie is hallmarked with swearing, kind of.
There we go. That's how it is. Bruce Campbell, hallmark with swearing. There's the title of the interview. Well, Bruce, yeah, man, seriously, thank you. I appreciate it. When you do come up to Portland, let us know. We'd love to do another one of these.
Good. I'm coming at you.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
All right. Thanks, man.
See you soon, Hollywood Theater.
All right. Big thank you to Bruce Campbell and his team for joining us. And again, you know, living here in Oregon for all that time. A movie filmed in Oregon. They're going to be in Medford for that one, but soon to be the Hollywood Theater in April. So we'll see if we can get Bruce here in studio to talk about that and some more of his experiences then. Thanks for joining us. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. Our 4 p.m. news is on the way. If you're watching live, I'd recommend that. Download that Fox 12 Oregon app or kptv.com, but you can always watch these after the fact as well, whatever platform you may be on. Thanks for doing so. We'll sign off for right now. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.